Hello and welcome to McKee Field at Hayden Park. It's game 2 of this 3-game tilt between the Siena Saints and the Miami Redhawks. We are gearing up for first pitch here on Chatterbox Sports. I'm Reed Mouse. A quick uniform change for the Redhawks. They went from the all-whites to the whites with the red. And we are ready for first pitch. Tyler Chadwick takes the rubber for the Redhawks. Chadwick, this is going to be his third outing of the season, has yet to get past the 4th inning. And he'll be facing off against the Saints, and it'll be Sean Camacho gearing up and stepping into the batter's box to start this one. And the first pitch misses upstairs, 1-0. The fastball's in there for a called strike. So let's take you through the Siena starting lineup. We mentioned Sean Camacho starting in center field, batting leadoff. Donovan Montgomery will be batting second and playing second. Aiden Stewart will shift from second base, where he played in the first game, over to third. He's batting third now. Matt Livingston in the cleanup playing first base. Dan Arroyo will be designated in and batting fifth. Gavin Thornburn, after getting the game-winning hit, will move up in the order as the first out of this ball game is fielded as Applewick, who is in the lineup today. Throws it over to Lester for the first out. So we mentioned Gavin Thornburn, who had the game-winning hit, bringing in 2 runs in the top half of the 9th inning in game 1. He moves up to the 6th hole. Louis Percival will be behind the dish, batting 7th. Vincenzo Castronova will be batting 8th in right field, and Randall Hine will be anchoring that lineup once again. So the first pitch to Donovan Montgomery misses upstairs. And we'll have more about Chadwick in a moment. Has the stuff to be the ace on this team, is going to probably be the Friday starter, but looking to get some early season rust off as he has a loss through the first 2 games. So let's take you through his first 2 outings. Against Georgia Tech, he went just 2/3 of an inning, giving up 8 runs. 2 of them were earned. He walked 5. So walks have been a big problem early going, as Donovan Montgomery singles into right field, getting his first hit of the day, and giving the Saints a base runner here in the top half of the first. So through only 4 innings pitched this season, Chadwick has walked 9 batters. And you talk to Coach Hayden about Chadwick, and he's not worried about Chadwick's start because the pitcher that he has been since coming onto campus back in September has been consistent, throwing a lot of strikes with plus stuff. He thinks it's just early season woes that he'll kick off the rust as the season goes along. And I mentioned it in the first broadcast. I'll mention it here. Coach Hayden believes that this team is going to be carried by their arms, though that hasn't been the case early on in the season. They're averaging almost 9 runs at the plate, but their arms will be the success of this team. As Chadwick falls behind Aiden Stewart, 3-0. Stewart had a base knock in the first game as Chadwick checks on the base runner. The 3-0 to Stewart. Runner fakes to second base. Chadwick finds the strike zone, bringing it to 3-1. Three and one goes back to full. So after falling behind 3-0, runs it full. We'll see if Montgomery gets up and moving here on the full count. The payoff pitch to Stewart. Chopped over towards Applewick at second base. Doesn't have a chance for 2. Throws it over to Lester at first. That'll be the second out. So Applewick comes into the ball game, starts game 2, and in the first inning gets 2 ground balls in the top half. Now we'll see Matt Livingston. Livingston had a base hit last game, his second hit of the season. Moved up to the 4 hole. Left-hander with his hands over top of the strike zone. Crouch down position. 1-1 count. This ball is hit well into center field. Coming in to try and make the play is McDonald. He won't get there in time. And Siena strikes first here in the top half of the first inning. Base hit by Donovan Montgomery. He moves over to second on the ground ball to the right side of the infield. And then the base knock by the cleanup hitter, Matt Livingston, makes it 1-0. So after struggling coming into today, we mentioned just 1 for 13 before today's games. Matt Livingston gets his second base knock of the day. Stepping into the batter's box will be Dan Barberio. Barberio sees the fastball, swings and misses. It's a 1-1 count. Livingston, not much of a threat to steal over at first base. As he takes a short lead. 2-1's the count to Barberio. Kicks, deals, fouled back. We mentioned the uniform change. They were wearing all whites as Tommy Harrison, the freshman, takes a foul ball off the chest protector. They're wearing all whites with the red pinstripes. They changed the top here in game 2. Vibrant red. Siena in still gray pants with the green jersey and gold trim. This is trickled out to the third baseman, Zaborowski. He throws it on to second for the third and final out, but Siena gets a run on 2 base knocks. We head to the bottom half of the first. You're watching Chatterbox Sports. Bottom of the first inning here at McKee Field at Hayden Park. Siena struck first. Let's see if Miami can answer back. Ryan Bates on the mound for Siena, a true freshman pitching for the Saints. This will be his 3rd outing of the season. He gave up 8 earned runs on 4 and 1 innings pitched his last time out. We'll see if the Redhawks can get on top of him. New lineup to tell you about for Miami. Evan Applewick will be leading off, playing second base. Leadoff hitter from the last game, Benji Brokmund, will be batting second, playing right field. Rylan Zaborowski will be batting third. He's playing third. Zach McDonald moving from the 2-hole to the cleanup spot. He's still patrolling center field. Parker Lester's at the 5-hole. He's playing first base. Ryan Zapp will be out in left field. He's batting 6th. Cooper Weiss playing shortstop, batting 7th. Tommy Harrison, the freshman catcher, getting in the starting lineup. We saw him towards the tail end of the first game. He's batting 8th. And then Nate Stone, the designated hitter, he'll be anchoring this Redhawks lineup. First pitch to Evan Applewick, misses upstairs. Bates, a 6'2", 220-pound freshman out of Cohoes, New York. So Applewick pieces one into left field, right through the 6-hole. And he comes into the lineup and states his presence with authority. So now we'll see Benji Broekman. Broekman with 2 base knocks in the first game. Out of that leadoff spot, they move him down 1 spot in the order. And that was a big hit for Evan Applewick because he was batting 182 coming into that at bat. Broekman chops one high over to the third baseman. Stewart throws it on to second. Montgomery fields it for the first out. Applewick slides into him. They had no chance to turn 2 with the speed of Broekman. And now we'll see Rylan Zoborowski.
The third baseman, Rylan Zoborowski.
Benji Broekman, we'll see if he's up and running here in the early goings. Different catcher back there for the Saints. We mentioned the catcher last game threw out 2 guys early on in the game, and they really never tried him again. New catcher behind the dish, it's Louis Percival. Chopped in foul territory. 0-1. So the Saints defensively, we mentioned Louis Percival and Ryan Bates in the battery. Matt Livingston will be out at first base, Montgomery at second. Randall Hine over at shortstop. Aiden Stewart moved from second base to third base. And out in the pasture, Thornburns out in left, Camacho in center. And out in right field, Castronova. Ground ball over to Aiden Stewart, chance to turn 2, and they do it. 5-4-3. Zoborowski not getting to first in time. And it's a double play to end the bottom half of the first. To the second we go here on Chatterbox Sports. To the top of the second we go. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Siena Saints. Chadwick's talking to the home plate umpire about his delivery, having a discussion about possibly something he's doing illegal. Gavin Thornburn, Louis Percival, Vincenzo Castronova due up for the Saints. And now you see the pitching coach talking to the home plate umpire to see what was going wrong there. So Chadwick So Siena got a run on 2 hits in the top half of the first inning. Now we're seeing the freshman, the hero of the last game for the Saints. 2-run single in the top half of the 9th inning. Moved up in the order. Had quite the game. We mentioned all the way back in the second inning of that first game, he was chasing a foul ball and had to see medical attention after diving out of play. Chases after the 1-0 pitch downstairs. It's 1-1. Chadwick delivers. So behind the plate is Tommy Harrison. He pinched hit in the first game. And it's not every day that you see a true freshman getting to start for a Division I program behind the dish. That is a position that normally comes with seniority. But Harrison has been the starter on majority of the games. In fact, has started in, this will be his 6th start in just the 10th ball game this season. The 2-2 misses on the outside half. It's 3-2. And the payoff pitch is chopped over towards Zoborowski. Slings it over to first, pulls Lester in the air, but he comes down on top of the bag for the first out. Zoborowski saying, that's my bad, but they got the out regardless. So talking with Coach Hayden about Harrison, he was mentioning, yeah, he's struggling at the plate to begin the season, and that is a rarity in this lineup. He's batting .176 through his first 5 starts of the year, 3 hits and 17 at-bats, 1 big fly already. But he thinks that he's going to turn it around. Just a hard worker and a lot of talent there, that he's going to be a part of this team going forward, as this is flared out to right field. Benji Broekman is underneath it for the second out. Off the end of the bat. And Chadwick makes quick work of the first 2 batters he sees, and now stepping up to the plate, the left-handed swinging Vincenzo Castronova.
Holy shit. You see that? That was dirty.
First pitch he sees, misses outside. Offers at the second fastball he sees. 1-1 now the count. Castronova, step in, awaits the pitch from Chadwick, misses outside. This ball is flared out to shallow left field on the run, but will make the play is Zapp for the 3rd and final out. Chadwick goes 1-2-3 in the top half of the second inning. Way to the bottom here at McKee Field. Four, 5, 6, 2 up for the Redhawks. Zach McDonald, Parker Lester, Brian Zapp. As Ryan Bates is out there for his second inning of work. 1-0 our score here at Hayden Park, McKee Field in Oxford, Ohio. Beautiful day here in early March. Though we've been a little spoiled recently. It's a little colder than we've gotten used to here in Southwest Ohio. Been used to the 60s, low 70s even, and now we're scoffing at the mid-40s day with the sun shining. McDonald swings on and misses the pitch, the offering from Bates. Though it's early March, you wouldn't know it from how beautiful this grass looks. It's green and luscious. Turf's in its 6th year here at Hayden Park. 1-2's the count. McDonald had a big fly back in the 5th inning of the first game of this series as he chops one over the shortstop Hine. Hine throws it over to Livingston for the first out. A lot more contact through the first 1/2 innings. We saw almost 30 strikeouts in the first game between the two teams. At one point, Miami struck out 7 straight times. At one point, Siena struck out 6 straight times. This one is hit on a line, but right at Hine for the second out. Hits it on the barrel. Right at Randall Hine, the shortstop. And now we'll see Brian Zapp as you see the Saints shift over towards the right side of the field. Montgomery working towards the 4-hole. They're leaving open the middle side of the field. Randall Hine playing towards the second base bag. But if Zapp can square one up, have an easy base knock on this turf. 1-1's the count. Bates takes a deep breath, kicks, deals, misses upstairs with the heater. Got through the first game in 2.5 hours. This game officially started at 3:17. 3-1 count. This ball's hit well out to right field. Coming underneath it is the right fielder Castronova. He'll be called off by Camacho, and Camacho will have that for the third and final out. 1, 2, 3 for both sides of the second inning. We're headed to the third here on Chatterbox Sports. Tyler Chadwick on the mound in the top half of the third inning. 9-1-2 due up for the Saints. It's game 2 of this matchup between Miami and Siena. I'm Reed Mouse. Thank you for joining me on this top half of the third inning. We had an exciting first game. 6-4 the final. Came down to the final frame. Siena got their first win of the year. Now sit at 1-9. A bad trip down to Florida, which saw them not win a single game. Their trip to Ohio has started a little bit better. Hine takes the first pitch for a called strike. And the 0-1 misses. 1-1 the count. Chadwick here in the early going has had a problem consistently finding the zone, and though he has been better than his first 2 starts of the year, not as efficient as Connor Oliver was for the Redhawks in game 1. The 2-2 misses outside. The 3-2, that'll miss. That's the first walk of the game as he walks the 9-hole, and Siena turns over the lineup.
The center fielder, Sean Camacho.
Camacho grounded out to Applewick at second base his first time around. The 0-0 is in there for a called strike. Oh, and 1 the count to Sean Camacho. Randall Hine is up and moving. Tommy Harrison throws it out to second base. It skips over the glove of Weiss into center field. And Hine will have the second back. Harrison's throw just a tad short. Trying to put it on the money. 0-2. Swung on and miss. 3 fastballs, 3 strikes from Tyler Chadwick.
The second baseman, Donovan Montgomery.
Now we'll see Donovan Montgomery. He singled, came around and scored all the way back in the first inning. Like to do it again with a runner in scoring position. This is up and away. Try pick play. Applewhite comes over, slaps the tag on Hine, but not in time. Slight breeze as you see the flag out in center field, waving from left field to right field. But it shouldn't affect play too much. 2-0 count to the 2-hole, Donovan Montgomery. The right-handed swinger, waving his bat. Waits on the 2-0 breaking ball that is in there for a called strike. Chadwick comes set, up and in. Walked Randall Hine. He stole second base. Sean Camacho strikes out, and now Hines wanting to go again. Tommy Harrison holds on to it. So a steal of second, then third for Randall Hine, as he has timed Tyler Chadwick almost perfectly. You see more and more base runners doing what
The third baseman,
went around, or is what I was taught in college as the new school lead. You take a little bit of a shorter lead, and you're just trying to time when he's going to the plate by hopping, and if you get it right, you got the green light. And Hine did it twice on Chadwick. So now we'll see the 3-hole. Aiden Stewart come to the plate. Runners on the corner, 1 away. Chadwick looking for a ground ball or a strikeout to help tiptoe his way out of this jam. 1-1's the count. Stewart grounded out to the second baseman his first time around. This one misses on the outside half. Harrison snags it. Caught it awkwardly behind home plate. Here comes the 2-1. Up and running is going to be Donovan Montgomery, and that's 3 stolen bases for the Saints already in this inning. Runner on second, runner on third, and now Chadwick needs to strike out the 3-hole Aiden Stewart. Flared out to shallow left field. Tagging up is Hine. Zap. Hits the cutoff man of third baseman. And make it 2-0 on the sacrifice fly. Good job at not letting Montgomery go to third on the throw in. But the run does score. And now we'll see Matt Livingston. He had an RBI single back in the first inning. Tommy Harrison barely hangs on to that one. Chadwick's a junior, a native of Marshall, Wisconsin. He fires the heater in there for a called strike. 6'5", 225 pounds, is Chadwick. Livingston chops one down the first base line, but it'll be foul for the first baseman, Lester. Chadwick was drafted by the Reds last year in the 19th round. Obviously didn't sign. Was a transfer to Miami back in 2022 from Iowa Western Community College. One and two to Livingston. The lefty chokes up on the bat. Slaps it over towards Lester at first base. He gobbles it up, flips it over to Chadwick for the third out. But another run. 2-0 our score as we head to the bottom half of the third. 2 walks and a sacrifice fly. Get Siena another one. Stay tuned. You're watching Chatterbox Sports. Seven, 8, 9 due up for the Redhawks. Cooper Weiss, Tommy Harrison, Nate Stone. On zeros to the first 2 frames. They're down 2-0. Miami got their first win of the season on Wednesday against their rival, the University of Cincinnati. It was in front of a capacity crowd down there at UC. 2,600, I believe, ushered in. Modest crowd here today on this beautiful Saturday. Cooper Weiss takes the first pitch for a called strike. Stung out towards third base. They call it the hot corner for a reason. It is off his wrist and into shallow left field. Hine will get it, but it's going to be a base knock for Cooper Weiss to begin things here in the bottom half of the third. Tommy Harrison, the catcher, steps into the batter's box. We saw him pinch hit. He walked back in game 1 before immediately being replaced on the base paths. The 1-0 to Harrison. Left-handed swinging freshman. Breaking ball misses downstairs. Good hitters count. Three and 0 to the catcher. Bates comes set. Here comes the 3-0. Kicks, deals, and I'll be in there for a called strike. 3-1 to Tommy Harrison. And a single and a walk will begin things here in the bottom half of the third as the designated hitter, Nate Stone, steps up to the plate. Stone didn't start in the first game, coming off an injury from a season ago. Stone, through 4 starts this year, 10 at-bats, just 1 hit. And with the top half of the order due up, Siena is gearing for a sacrifice, though Miami hasn't shown to do anything of the sorts yet. The 1-0 to the left-handed swinging Stone. Runners are moving, but Stone will foul it straight back. So send him back to first and second. Cooper Weiss has yet to attempt a stolen base this year. Tommy Harrison's 1 for 1. He's over at first base. The 1-1. Two and one's the count. You see Siena using wristbands for between their pitchers and their catcher. See more and more teams do this. We're going the traditional signage. This way both the pitcher and the catcher can be on the same page and have the orders come straight from the dugout. 2-2 the count. Stone does an offer at the 2-2 and we'll run it full. Full count, 2 runners on, nobody away in the bottom half of the third. Here comes the payoff pitch. Hit into medium depth center field, though it's drifting back. Weiss tagging up, Camacho underneath it. He gets it into the cutoff man. They'll split the runners at first and third for the top half of the order. So Stone puts a good swing on it, just pops it up too high. And now we'll see Evan Applewick need a single his first time around. Applewick hasn't had a hot start to the year, batting under 200. So he got his 5th hit of the season his last time around. Looking to get RBI number 3. He's got 2 as far on the ledger. Takes the first pitch for a called strike, a breaking ball on the inside half. Harrison over at first, Weiss at third, 1 away. And Bates has had trouble finding the strike zone here in this 3rd inning. Pickoff attempt on Harrison, not there in time. Just keeping tabs. We mentioned Harrison 1 for 1 on stolen bases this year. Bates comes set. The 1-1 offering. This is downstairs. It's 2-1. Kicks, deals, called strike, another taken breaking ball. Applewick didn't even begin to offer at either one of those off-speed pitches. Looking for the straight ball. Kind of change his approach here on the 2-2. Upstairs fastball, no dice. Run it full. We'll see if Harrison's up and moving here on the full count with 1 out. Miami tried 2 different first and third plays in game 1. One was successful, one was not. Taken for ball 4, and that will load the bases for Benji. Applewick on first. Harrison on second. Cooper Weiss on third. Benji Broekman grounded into a fielder's choice his first time around. Benji with 5 RBIs on the young season. And this one dribbles up the middle for a base knock. 1 run will score. They'll hold him out at third. And it's 2-1. Benji Brokman seeing the first pitch and taking it right back where it came from. And now we'll see Rylan Zoborowski with the bases juiced. 5 home runs already on the season through just 10 games. He grounded into a double play his first time around, and he's swinging at the first pitch. Hits a missile down the line, but foul. They pitched around Ryland in the first game, threw him a lot of off-speed pitches. Gave him a heater there that he sent right back to the screen. 0-2 for the 3-hole. Zoborowski, a .351 hitter. Downstairs. And an opposing figure in the box, too. 6'6", 235 pounds, from Gilbert, Arizona. A 1-2 offering to the redshirt sophomore. Hit hard towards third base. Stewart fields it, thrown over to first. And for the second time in the ballgame, Rylan Zoborowski grounds into a double play. And the Saints get out of a jam. We're heading to the top half of the fourth. It's 2-1. (2-1) our score. The Siena Saints got out of the jam. Bases were juiced to the middle of Miami's order, and they got a ground ball double play. Now it's their turn to strike. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Saints. Dan Barbario, Gavin Thorburn, and Louis Percival. Tyler Chadwick out for another inning of work. Chadwick is a man that they expect to be the Friday starter for Miami this season. Has yet to get past 3 1/3 inning pitch this year. Barbero grounded out to the second baseman his first time around. Chadwick's first pitch fouled back towards the first base dugout. It's 0-1. Chadwick missing low and away. 1-1. This is downstairs 2-1. And walks have been the problem for Chadwick this season. His first outing, didn't get out of the first inning. Walked 5 batters. Second outing, he walked 4. And then, of course, last inning, he walked 2 batters. One of them came across. So free passes have been the trouble, the thorn in the side this far. This is chopped high out to Cooper West. Gets it, has to get rid of it quickly, and throws over to Lester for the bang-bang play. Weiss had no choice but to sit back and wait on it. And then deliver a strike over to Lester at first base. Though if they wanted to get the ball quicker out of the sky, they probably should have just had Zaborowski, 6'6", reach on up. The first pitch to Thorburn, in there for a called strike. He grounded out to the third baseman his first time around. And he's way out in front of that pitch. He falls behind 0-2. Foul tipped, and Harrison just couldn't hold on. So we'll do it again at 0-2. Tries on the outside half once more. Thorburn awaits Chadwick. Downstairs, missing. 2-1 our score, 2-2 our count, as Thorburn weakly hits one out to shallow right center field. Coming in is Broekman, and he'll have it for the second out. So now the catcher, Louis Percival, steps up. He flew out to right field his last time around. Pitch is fouled straight back. The 0-1 misses low and away fastball. The 1-1 offering from Chadwick is sent into right center field. Percival with a base knock. Coming in to make the play is McDonald. He'll throw it in before Percival can round first and head for second. Third hit of the ball game for the Saints. Pieced well by the catcher. So now we'll see Vincenzo Castronova. Flew out to left field. Chadwick sitting around the low 90s. This is in the turf. Castronova has to dance out of the way. And we'll do it at 1-1. Hit over to the second baseman. He'll field it on his knees. Applewick scoops it up, throws it over to Lester for the third and final out. We head to the bottom half of the fourth. 2-1 still our score here at McKee Field. Zach McDonald, Parker Lester, Brian Zapp due up for the Redhawks. They're down 1 run in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Ryan Bates out there for another inning of work. For the first 3 frames, after striking out nearly 15 times in game 1, the Redhawks have not gone down, either looking or swinging. McDonald, Lester, and Zapp all 0 for 1 to the first time. And 1, 2, 3 in the second inning, looking to fare differently here in the fourth. McDonald takes the first pitch. It misses vertically. Here comes the 1-0. Breaking ball that McDonald is out in front of. Brings it to 1-1. This ball is hit well out to right center field, giving chases Camacho. We'll see if he can get underneath it. And he runs in to the outfield wall directly after making the catch. A heck of a play out there in deep right center field. Beyond 384, McDonald gave that one a ride. Camacho took precarious route to catch that one, but he got underneath it. And for the second time today, a Siena Saints outfielder has ran into a wall. So now we'll see Parker Lester. He hit one on the screws, but right at Randall Hall. His first time around. Lester takes the breaking ball in the inside half. The 1-1 chopped over towards the second baseman, Donovan Montgomery, playing right there in the shift. Flips it over to Livingston for the second out. So now it's Brian Zapp coming up to the plate. Zapp flew out to Camacho. His first time. Bates making quick work and getting right back in the move of things, missing upstairs. We see pitchers working with a lot more pace, not only at the professional level where they have to because of the pitch clock. We're seeing that happen more and more at the collegiate and high school level. Bates no different. He gets right back on the rock. Here's the next pitch from his wristband and his coach. And is ready to roll. The 1-2 is a breaking ball hit over towards Montgomery underneath his glove as he dives. Thornburn out in right field will get it in, but that's a base knock for Brian Zapp. Cooper Weiss will step up to the plate. The shortstop had a base knock. He came around and scored the lone Redhawk run to this point in the ballgame. And we'll see if Zapp is up and moving here with 2 gone. Brian Zapp's 3 for 3 on stolen bases this year, second on the team. Only behind Parker Lester. Weiss awaits the pitch. Bates misses upstairs. Louis Percival, Ryan Bates working quickly in that battery. The 2-0. Up in the strike zone. Brings it to 2-1. A 2-1 offering is fouled straight back. We'll do it at 2-2. So right now would be a good time for Zapp to take off. Short lead, trying to time Bates, and they haven't been able to get him quite right. Take the hop, and he's going to stay right there. So if you can see what these base runners are trying to do, they take, I mentioned this earlier, they take a short lead and they hop, hop, hop as the pitcher's getting ready to deliver the pitch to home. And if you hop right as soon as the pitcher lifts up his leg, that gives you the green light to go. As Cooper Weiss comes up empty on the 2-2 fastball in the upper part of the zone. So the first strikeout of the game comes in the 4th inning. One single, but nothing to show of it for the Redhawks. We head to the 5th. It's 2-1. Randall Hines, Sean Camacho, Donovan Montgomery due up for the Siena Saints. 2-1 our score. About the midway point of this one. Sun shining through. A couple clouds in the sky, but you can't complain as it's a beautiful day here in early March in southwestern Ohio. McKee Field at Hayden Park, the venue for this 3-game series. The home opening series for the Redhawks. I came back from traveling this week as this one's hit weakly out to Applewick at second base. He throws it over to Lester for the first out. After a winless road trip, Miami came back here to town and got their first win on Wednesday, looking to win a series, but they've got to capture the last 2 games against Siena. And the first pitch to the leadoff hitter, Sean Camacho, in there for a called strike. The 0-1 is a bender, but it didn't bend all the way back. Hit on a line out to the right fielder, as that's going to get past Benji. The one hop goes over his head. Camacho is out to run. It's against the fence. He's looking at third, maybe thinking 4, but he's going to be held up. All because the turf took a big bounce over Benji Brokeman's head, off his glove, and all the way back to the 384 sign out in right center field. So now Camacho out at third base. And Donovan Montgomery looking to tag on another run. Miami already playing in. And this is another thing that you're seeing more and more teams do. That is play in earlier in the ball game. And because the first game was so tightly contested, you're thinking runs might be at a premium. Though Miami has been averaging nearly 9 runs a ball game coming into today, they have not shown the same offensive prowess through the first couple ball games, or at least the first 13 innings today. So they're going to play in, try and limit as many guys come across home plate as possible. Not going to sacrifice the run for the outs up the middle. The 1-0 to Montgomery is going to be fouled over the first base dugout. Weiss and Applewick with their toes on the green part of the turf. Lester Zaborowski with their heels on the beginning between the dirt and the grass, or at least the simulated dirt and grass. 1-2 offering from Chadwick. Breaking ball sent straight back to center field. McDonald for one throw for it all. On a line towards Harrison, but not in time for the speedy Camacho. And it's a lined sacrifice fly.
The third baseman, Aiden Stewart.
So we'll see what the official scorer says about the hit by Camacho. In my book, it's a single and an error. So the first pitch to Aiden Stewart, the 3-hole. Misses. He had a sacrifice fly earlier back in the third inning. To this point, Siena is scoring a run, then hanging a 0. They've scored a run, hung a 0 to the first 2.5 patterns here in the 5th. Chadwick already looking for the sign from Harrison. Gets it. Quickly delivers a stride. Guess it missed. Don't see quite where that one missed, but it's 3-1 regardless. 3-1's in there for a swinging strike. And it's ball 4 for Chadwick. So Aiden Stewart reaches first for the first time today, and we'll see Matt Livingston single back in the first. And Livingston has to be unique to pitch to just because of his stance. His hands are on top of the middle of the plate. And for the second time today, a pickoff attempt is errant. And Aiden Stewart will have second base and third as it goes all the way down the right field line. And that's some of the dangers you get when you play on turf. And when you play on these fields that have, as typical stadiums do, slanted going inwards from home plate down to the foul pole. Is once it gets on that slope, it's going all the way to right field. So the first pitch to Stewart misses up and away. Rather, Matt Livingston. And he lines one into center field for an RBI single. It's 4-1. So twice this inning, Miami has allowed a one base, either a walk or a single, turn into 3 bases. First was Sean Camacho with the single that hit off Benji Brokman's glove and went all the way to the fence for 3 bags. And then the walk that turned into 3 bags on the errant pickoff attempt. And that's all we'll see from Tyler Chadwick. So we'll take a breather. When we come back, we'll have a new arm to tell you about here on Chatterbox Sports. 4-1 our score here in the top half of the 5th inning. Tyler Chadwick is going to be relieved by Kitten Egbert, the senior from Tip City, Ohio, 6'3", 205-pound right-handed pitcher. This is his 3rd outing of the season. Pitch against Indiana and pitch against North Alabama. Through 3 innings pitched, he's given up 7 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, 8 hits. So the book on Tyler Chadwick, depending on the scorekeeper, 4 2/3 innings pitched. He gave up 5 hits, 4 runs. He's on the hook for 1 more run, and depending on the scorekeeper, you're looking, at least in my book, at 3 earned runs with 1 more to close up. Currently in line for the loss. So Kitten Egbert will face Dan Barbario. Livingston with 2 RBI singles today. And what a second game for a guy coming into today, hitting under 100. Egbert, first pitch we'll see from him. Swung on and miss. Barbero, 0 for 2 on the day, grounded out twice. Off-speed pitch, misses low and away. Egbert made 4 starts last season, pitched in 14 games, and Barbero has a ball down the line. That's a base knock. Livingston's rounding second. We'll see if they send him home. This rattles up in the corner. Livingston's rounding third. We got a play at the plate, but Weiss didn't cut it off and send it home. Livingston all the way from first to home on the double from Dan Barbero. Five to 1 our score here in Oxford. And things getting away from the Redhawks. So now we're going to see the freshman, Gavin Thornburn. Egbert misses low and away. Barbero still sitting at second base as the Saints are still threatening. They've plated 2 runs here now with 2 outs. The 1-1 misses up and away. Egbert comes set. Gets one over the heart of the plate that is fouled weakly down the first base line. Brings it to 2-2. Egbert gets the swinging strikeout, and the inning ends. Not before the Saints plate 3 runs, 2 with 2 outs, and they take a 5-1 lead. We head to the bottom of the 5th here at McKee Field at Hayden Park. 5-1 the score at the midway point of this one. Game 2 of the series between Miami and Siena. Two teams slumping to begin the season. One of them has to get the series win, and Siena's looking right here, up 5-1 through game 2. Tommy Harrison steps up to the plate, left-handed hitting freshman. He walked his first time around, didn't come around to score, made it all the way to third base before an inning-ending double play got Siena out of trouble. The 2-0 is going to be sent well out to right field. Castronova, is trying to make a play. This one bounces off the top of the wall and goes out of play. And you could tell from the onset that that one was hit on a line, and Castronova had no chance. So a ground rule double. Gets Miami cooking here with nobody away in the bottom half of the 5th. So now we'll see the 9-hole. Nate Stone. Stone flew out to center field his first time around, and he'll take the first pitch for a strike. So the shortstop, Randall Hine, sticking close to Tommy Harrison. Tommy Harrison, the freshman's had some nice at-bats today. Had the walk in the first game, walked his first time around today, and then obviously just had that automatic double. Stone finds himself in an 0-2 hole. Stone's the redshirt junior from Granville, Ohio. Home of the Blue Aces. As the 0-2 misses away. 1-2 the count to the left-handed hitting designated hitter. Swings on and misses as he'll go down on strikes. Miami turns the lineup over
The second baseman, Evan Applewick.
for Evan Applewick. So that was Stone's 6th strikeout and 12 at-bats this season. So tough start to the year for the left-handed hitter. Evan Applewick, 1 for 1 on the day. He walked his last time up to the plate. The 1-0's in there for a called strike. We'll see it at 1-1. One's in there for a called strike, 1-2, and the leadoff double. Since then, we've seen a strikeout, and Evan Applewick's finding himself in a hole. Chopped, out of play. We'll do it once more. Mentioned the slight breeze from left field to right field. Something to keep in mind as the breaking ball doesn't find the strike zone on the inside half. Run it to 2-2. Bates out there. Started this game. Last time he came out, he gave up 8 earned runs. Has fared much better today. Called strike 3 on Evan Applewick as the breaking ball freezes him.
The right fielder, Benji Brogomon.
So after the leadoff double, strikeout, and now it's Benji. Benji Brokman swings at the first pitch he sees out to right field. Castronova's underneath it, setting up camp, and he'll have it for the third and final out. So the Redhawks squander a leadoff ground rule double. Scratch, no runs across. We head to the sixth. It's 5-1. Seven, 8-9 due up for the Siena Saints. Louis Percival, Vincenzo Castronova, Randall Hine. 5-1 our score as Ken Edwards out there for another inning in relief work. This time, clean bases. So Siena hung a crooked number last inning. And there's a new stat, I guess is what you'd call it, that a lot of these teams, collegiate teams, have started to track. They call it base 2. And it basically just tracks the game, and the idea is each thing, base 2, B-A-S-E 2, is its own category, and if you win 3 out of the 5, put yourself in a good chance to win. And it spells out B, big inning. A is answer back. S is score first. E is extend the inning, or extend the lead, rather. And then 2 is scoring with 2 outs. As this is going to be chopped off to Cooper Weiss. Fields it, throws it over to Lester for the first out. And you can mark up for Siena. They scored first, had the big inning, they extended their lead, and they scored with 2 outs. So they've done 4 out of those 5, and if you get 3 out of the 5, you win at some clip like 80% of the time. And the first pitch to Vincenzo Castronova hits him square. So Kent Egbert will have a base runner as he faces the 9-hole. Randall Hine. Hine scored back in the 3rd inning. He walked and then stole 2 different bases. He grounded out to Evan Applewick his last time around. And Evan Applewick, who's didn't start game 1, starting game 2, has already had 4 assists in this one out in the field. So the old adage that you check into the game, the ball will find you is holding true for Evan Applewick. Ken Egbert will take a ground ball here. One and one here from Egbert. 2 Hine. Check on the runner. Nobody home. It's a big park here at McKee Field. 330 down the left field line, 343 down the right field line, 400 to dead center. In the alleys, 376, 384. This isn't gloved cleanly by Harrison behind the dish. Castronova thought about heading towards second. Thought wisely. It's 2-1. 2-1 the count. The kick, the deal. In there for a called strike. Two. Checks on the runner once more. Two strike counts to the 9-hole. Randall Hine. Egbert delivers a fastball. Misses upstairs. Now it's full. Misses on the outside half and didn't miss by a whole lot.
The center fielder, Sean Camacho.
So runners on first and second, one away for the leadoff man, Sean Camacho. Camacho started the rally last inning when his single got over Broekman's head. And he came all the way around to third base. So the first pitch is a called strike. The 0-1 offering is fouled over the Jay Hayden Baseball Center down the third base line. O2 offering. Hit well out to center field. McDonald tracking it well out in left center field as it drifts over towards the left field foul pole. It's to his left for the second out.
The second baseman, Donovan Montgomery.
Two away. 2 on, 2 away for Donovan Montgomery. Montgomery hit a missile to center field his last time around. That was fielded for a sacrifice fly. Had a nice day at the plate here in game 2. A single, a walk, and that sacrifice fly. The 1-0 is swung on a miss, waved at. The 1-1. Misses. Bringing the count to 2-1. Egbert. Kicks. Deals. In there for a called strike. Two, 2 men on, 2 away. Top half of the 6th inning. Big pitch. Swung on and missed. Miami gets out of a jam here in the top half of the 6th inning, though it's still 5-1. Stay tuned. You're watching Chatterbox Sports. Bottom of the 6th inning out here in Oxford, Ohio. 3, 4, 5 due up for the Miami Redhawks. I'm Reed Mouse. You're watching Chatterbox Sports. Thank you for joining us. Miami needs to get the sticks out. If you're watching this, please subscribe, like the video. Let us know where you're watching from. Second ever broadcast here for Chatterbox Sports, streaming Miami University spring sports. We'll be doing the softball and baseball games this spring. We'll be back tomorrow for the conclusion of this 3-game series between Siena and Miami. But it's Rylan Zaborowski at the plate for the Redhawks. Tough time at the dish today, as he has in 2 at-bats attributed for 4 outs, 2 grounded into double plays. Came up with the bases juiced back in the 3rd inning. Now finds a 2-2 count. The third baseman mentioned 5 home runs already on the young season, 2 coming on Wednesday night against the Bearcats of Cincinnati. The 2-2 misses on the outside. 3-2 to the starting third baseman. Swung on and missed. The breaking ball puts down Zaborowski.
The center fielder, Zach McDonald.
So Zach McDonald steps up to the plate. Fouls the first pitch he sees straight back. 0-1's the count. McDonald on the day 0 for 2. He laces this one down the left field line. That's going to be extra bases as it rattles up against the wall. He's got a double, and he'll stop right there as he gets the stop sign from Coach Hayden. For the second straight inning, Miami has a double with less than 2 outs. So now we'll see Parker Lester. Lester came in today and still is the leading hitter on this team, as the first pitch he sees will get into right field for a base knock. They're going to hold up McDonald at third base, as the one hop to the right fielder, Castronova, lined him up perfectly to make a play. So Coach Hayden would rather have the runners on the corners for Brian Zapp. Runner on first, runner on third. And Zapp, who steps in 1 for 2 on the day already. Infield playing, at least the shortstop, Hines, playing at double play depth. As he's also looking to defend second base on a potential steal. Parker Lester leads the Redhawks in stolen bases. Back-to-back breaking balls. Finds Zapp in an 0-2 hole. 1-2 hole, rather. Bates comes set. Kicks. Deals. Froze Zapp, but misses on the outside. Running the count to 2-2. A fastball this time. Change of speeds. Change of height. And Zap sends it right back to the screen. 2-2. See if Lester's up and running here. Breaking ball misses on the outside half. Now it's full. (5-1) our score. Misses upstairs, and that's ball 3. So we did have the count wrong on the scoreboard. So we'll do it again. Count's full. Going to check to see if he went. He did not. So load the bases on the walk. And for the second time today, Miami will have the bases juiced. And the shortstop, Cooper Weiss, step up to the plate, 1 for 2. And the pitching coach is going to go out there and talk to Bates, and that might be it. Talking with Bates. No one's getting one last pitch in the bullpen that I can see from. Though it looked like Bates was easy to relinquish the ball. Bates already worked 5 1/3 innings pitch, and they're going to let him go.
The shortstop, Cooper Weiss.
So Cooper Weiss, mentioned 1 for 2, came around and scored all the way back in the 3rd inning. The biggest at-bat of the game thus far for the Redhawks. He takes the first pitch for a called strike. The 0-1's in there for strike 2. McDonald's on 3rd, Lester's on 2nd, Zap's on 1st. A lot of speed around on the paths for the Redhawks. And Bates is working quickly. Here's the 0-2 to Weiss. Foul ball, fastball that's hit straight back at the screen. We'll do it once more at 0-2. Bates gets the sign from Percival. Fouls another back. Montgomery and Hine pinching the second base bag. Livingston and the third baseman, Aiden Stewart, playing at normal depth. And the 0-2 is swung on and missed for the strikeout, and now it's the freshman coming up at a crucial time.
The catcher, Tommy Harrison.
Tommy Harrison's had a nice day at the plate. He had that ground rule double his last time up. That was just last inning. He walked all the way back in the 3rd, and he walked in the first game. He's seen the ball well right now. And the first pitch he sees, he offers that, comes up empty, 0-1. Chopped towards the first base coach. Foul, 0-2. And for the second straight batter with the bases juiced, the batter falls behind 0-2. Bates blows the fastball by the freshman, Tommy Harrison. And for the second time today, the Redhawks leave them stranded. 5-1. We head to the top of the 7th here on Chatterbox Sports. Kid Egbert out there for another inning of relief work for the Miami Redhawks. 5-1 our score. And the final 3 frames of this doubleheader. Siena won the first game 6-4 on a 2-run single in the top half of the 9th inning. And now they have a 4-run lead looking to sweep the day. 3-4-5 due up for the Saints. Aiden Stewart, Matt Livingston, Dan Barbero. All have had nice days at the plate. Coming into today, Siena was batting just 178 as a team. In this game, they have 6 hits, good for 5 runs. Egbert has a 1-1 count. Here to Stewart. The 1-1 is fouled over the third base dugout. Tommy Harrison gives the sign to Egbert. Misses upstairs. 2-2. With the left-handed batter up, still playing at normal depth. Though Zaborowski, the third baseman, is shifted an extra step off the line. Here comes the payoff pitch to Stewart. Fastball misses inside. It's a leadoff walk. Doesn't look like anyone's actively working in Miami's bullpen. Our stat team here said that that final pitch, the strikeout on Tommy Harrison with the bases loaded, was the fastest pitch that Ryan Bates threw all day. 93 miles an hour. A little extra juice for the big moment. Matt Livingston has had 2 RBI singles, one in the first inning, one in the 5th. He's 2 for 3. Mentioned earlier, he came in today batting under 100. The 1-1. Hit well down the right field line. But foul. We'll do it here at 1-2. Nobody away here in the top half of the 7th. Stewart with a good lead. Egbert's going to check on him. Egbert, a graduate from Tippecanoe High School up in Tipp City, Ohio, right up I-75. Been with the program for a few years now. Two-two is fouled over the third base dugout. We'll do it again. We mentioned how Livingston has a unique batting stance. I don't know if you can tell so much on the broadcast, but his hands sit right over the strike zone. He outreaches him. He's not on top of the plate. Times can make a pitcher feel a little uncomfortable on the mound. Not quite sure what to do with him. Gets Stewart on a lean, but the pickoff is not there in time. Two-two once again. Egbert. As Livingston foul another one off. He's working a good at-bat. 2-2 the count. Lace down the right field line, but foul. So there is action up in Siena's bullpen. Number 5, Noah Rodriguez is getting loose. We saw him close out the first game. The 2-2 once more. The kick, the offer, misses outside. Livingston working a heck of an at-bat. Three-two, the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Egbert wins the battle. Took him a lot of pitches, but finally sits down Livingston swinging. Now it's Dan Barbero. Last time we saw him, he laced a double down the left field line that scored Matt Livingston all the way from first base. That was the final run that we've seen in this ball game to this point. Check swing, yes he did. And he'll have another base knock to the left side of the field, right beyond the glove of Zaborowski. It's the 7th hit of the ball game for Siena, and the 2nd for Dan Barbero.
The left fielder, Gavin Thornburn.
Gavin Thorburn coming up with 2 men on and 1 away. And he's swinging at the first pitch. If it's in fair territory, it'll be an infield fly rule. Doesn't matter as Egbert snags the pop-up for the 2nd out.
The catcher, Louis Percival.
I've always wondered, what if you just let that drop? I mean, I know it's still an out, but just to cause a little bit of chaos. See if the runners start going for a base. Trying to snag an extra out. One 0 the count here to the catcher, Louis Percival. Percival swings at the 1-0 offering. Comes up empty. He had a single back in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Here comes the 1-1. Fouled back. Egbert trying to get out of this inning unscathed. The 2-2. Breaking ball, check swing. Yes, he did go for it, and that's going to be a strikeout. So after allowing the 2 of the first 3 batters to reach base, Egbert gets a pop-up in the infield and a strikeout to get out of danger. It's stretch time as we head to the bottom half of the 7th. Miami's down 5-1. Bottom of the 7th inning, 5-1 our score. McKeith Field at Hayden Park, the venue for this doubleheader, the second of a 3-game series you can watch here on Chatterbox Live. I'm Reed Mouse. Thank you for joining us today. I mentioned that we'll be here throughout all spring. All the home games for both softball and baseball. And we got a new pitcher on the mound. Rather, it's still Ryan Bates out there for another inning of work. Got out of danger, and they're letting him go back out there. So it's 9-1-2 due up for Miami. Nate Stone, Evan Applewick, Benji Brokman. Stone 0 for 2. Pop up and a strikeout thus far, and he finds himself in another hole. Miami has hung 3 consecutive zeros on the board after scoring in the 3rd inning. And twice in the last 4 times that Miami has gone to the plate, they have had the bases juiced with less than 2 outs and no runs to show for it as Stone goes down swinging. So in the first game, we combined for 30 strikeouts between the two teams. Both teams in the teens on Ks. It took Miami to the 4th inning to get their first strikeout today. It was the final out of the 4th inning. Since then, they have struck out in 5 of their 6 outs. Or rather, 6 of their last 7 outs. Evan Applewick at the plate. And he swings on the 1-1. Comes up empty, 1-2. Froze him on the breaking ball. But they'll let him see another pitch. It's 2-2. Working it back full. Applewick trying to get something going here in the bottom half of the 7th. Hit on a line down the first base side. That's going to be extra bases. Rattling up against the 343 side. Applewick's going to slow into second base with a stand-up double. So for the 3rd consecutive inning, Miami has a man on second base via the double in less than 2 outs. Benji Brokman steps up to the plate. He's 1 for 3, had a single back in the 3rd inning. Brokman comes day late and $1 short on the fastball. The 0-2. Chopped out to the second baseman. Montgomery has it easily, throws it over to Livingston for the 2nd out. Applewick moves over to 3rd. 4-3 put out. Rylan Zaborowski has had a 2nd game of this doubleheader to forget. 2 double plays and 1 strikeout. Has a chance to bring in a run with 2 away in the bottom half of the 7th. Takes the fastball in the inside half for a ball. Chops one. Going to be a tough play for the third baseman, Aiden Stewart. On the run, gets it over to Livingston for the third out. And we head to the 8th inning, still 5-1.
For the Redhawks, no runs, one hit, no Siena errors.
The left-hander Carson Byers will take the mound for Miami. In a 5-1 ball game, it's the top half of the 8th. They'll face off against the 8, 9, then back to the top half of the order. Carson Byers, this will be his 4th appearance on the season. A true freshman. He has thrown 5 2/3 innings. Has given up 12 runs on the year with a bunch of strikeouts, 11 to be exact. His ERA 19.06, but small sample size. You got to remember. Carson Byers, the freshman, making his home debut. He'll take over for Kent Egbert. Through 2 1/3 innings pitched. Gave up 1 run. Had a couple of Ks to show for it. So Vincenzo Castronova will step in. 0 for 2 on the day. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. A lefty-on-lefty matchup. First pitch from Byers. In there for a called strike. Byers, a 5'9" lefty from Michigan. Listed at 205 pounds. The 1-1 offering. Fouled out of play. Last year, as a senior in high school, struck out 110 batters in just 59 innings with a 1.49 ERA. And he gets a strikeout to the first batter he sees here at McKee Field. Now he'll face Randall Hine. Hine has walked twice, grounded out once. His 3 trips to the plate. Byers working quickly and pounding the zone. The 0-2 blown by Hine. 2 up, 2 Ks for Carson Byers here in the 8th inning. And he's walking around with some juice out there on the mound. Camacho against Byers. Check the swing down the third base line. No, he didn't. 1-0 our count. Byers, after pounding the zone to the first two batters he faces, falls behind here to the leadoff man, Camacho. 2-0's in there. Back-to-back strikes. Evens the count up, 2-2. Byers was listed as the second best left-handed pitcher in the state of Michigan by Prep Baseball Report Michigan. And he's looking to K the side here in his first inning of work on the homestand. And that's going to be a single through the 6-hole out to left field. Camacho with his first base hit of the ball game, or a second rather. So now we'll see Donovan Montgomery for the 5th time this ball game. A single, a walk, sacrifice fly, and a strikeout. Running the gamut. First pitch to Montgomery. Misses the zone. Here comes the 1-0. Fouled back. Knots it up at 1-1. Byers trying to give a little bit of juice to these Redhawks. Checks on the runner again. The 1-1. Misses upstairs. And Byers falls behind again. Camacho at first. Donovan Montgomery at the plate. 2 away in the top half of the 8th. They'll check on Camacho once more. The 3-1. Swung on and missed. And now Camacho will be up and running with the pitch. Ball in the gap. Brings home a run. Runner moves. Ball 4. So now we're back to the heart of this Saints order. They'll go out and talk to Byers. So strikeout, base hit, walk. Will bring Aiden Stewart to the plate. Speaking of walks, he's done it twice. Sacrifice fly back in the 3rd inning. He's also grounded out. Two on, 2 away. And the first pitch to Stewart's in there for a called strike. Byers finds himself ahead of a hitter again. Breaking ball in there. Finds the zone. So here's the 0-2 offering from Carson Byers. Fastball. Try to get him to chase on the heater upstairs. No dice. Slider in the dirt. Two twos the count. 2 outs. Looking for the outside half. Carson Byers walking off the mound. Didn't get the call. So now the count's full. Now the runners will go on the pitch. And the infield's got to go across on a ground ball. Called strike 3. Stewart walking back towards the dugout. He knew it right away. We head to the bottom half of the 8th. Redhawks running out of time. They need 4 to tie it up, 5 to take the lead. Stay tuned. You're watching Chatterbox Live. McKee Field at Hayden Park. Bottom of the 8th inning, 5-1 our score, and finally, a new arm to tell you about. Ryan Bates' day ends after 7 innings pitched, and we got a southpaw. So Ryan Bates is going to finish his day, 1 run given up, an earned run, 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, a couple of Ks to tell you about. In fact, 6 out of the last 8 outs he got were strikeouts. So Eddie Gertler, the freshman from New York, going out for his 4th appearance on the season. 4 innings pitched, 7 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. And he's in charge of bringing this one home, or at least getting the Saints to the 9th inning with their lead intact. He'll face 4, 5, 6 of Miami's lineup. Zach McDonald, Parker Lester, Brian Zapp. So the shadows starting to come on the field as the sun is setting. Sun is setting behind home plate. So the shadows are working their way towards the field, meaning that sun's going to be right in the eyes of the outfielders. The first pitch from Gertler misses upstairs. And McDonald ahead in the count. McDonald 1 for 3. The southpaw Gertler. Up and in. There were a lot of strikes and warm-ups. His first 2 here. Once the lights are on, can't find on top of it. The 2-0 offering. That's way up. And you got to think McDonald's Gonna have the take sign. Umpire letting the press box know what's up. 3-0. Gertler finds the strike zone finally, brings it to 3-1, and the green light's back on for McDonald. The 3-1. Swung on and missed, and Gertler's worked it back. Count is full. And the payoff pitch from the southpaw. Misses upstairs. So brought it all the way back just to award a leadoff walk to McDonald. So now we'll see Parker Lester. He squared the ball up twice, lined out to the shortstop his first time around, had a single his last time. Looking to get something going. Swings at the first pitch he sees from Gertler. Montgomery scoops it off the turf, throws it over to Livingston for the first out. No play at second base. So 4-3 put out. We'll bring Brian Zapp to the plate. We're going to see a new batter. Steven Krause coming off the bench once again. Zapp, the left-handed hitting swinger. Won't face off against Gertler, the lefty thrower. So they'll put in the righty, Steven Krause. He pinched hit in the first game. Didn't have anything to show for it. Runner on second base for Krause. Takes the ball in the turf. The 6'3" senior. Awaits the 1-0. Gertler. There's it down in the zone, and coming up empty is Krause. One and one the count to the righty. So Steven Krause, one of the captains on this squad. Elected by his peers and his coach. Coaches, I should say. For that honor. I asked Coach Hayden what made the captains earn those roles, and they said just consistency, showing up every day, putting the work in. You always know what you're going to get. The 3-1 to Krause. Taken for a called strike two, and the count is full. Making Gertler work. Cooper Weiss on deck. Waiting in the on-deck circle, rather. The payoff pitch is fouled. Off the catcher. Umpire's going to give the courtesy. Out for Louis Percival. So now we'll get the game started back up. It's a thing that umpires and catchers do alike. Someone takes one off the face mask, you give them a breather. Here comes the 3-2. Swung on and missed. And Kraus comes off the bench, comes up empty, and we'll see in Cooper Weiss.
The shortstop, Cooper Weiss.
Weiss on the day struck out his last 2 times. First pitch from Gertler misses down in the turf. The 1-0. In the 6-0, going to be a tough play on the turf. Hine delivers a one-hopper to Livingston for the 3rd and final out, robbing Cooper Weiss of a base knock. We head to the 9th inning. Still 5-1. Carson Byers out there for another inning of work out of the pen. 5-1 our score. He'll face 4, 5, and 6 from the Siena Saints lineup. Trying to keep this game at 5-1 before heading to the bottom half. Miami's hung 5 consecutive zeros on the board, only 1 run to show. Don't have the exact stats, but they've left quite a few on base. Thank you for joining us. I'm Reed Mouse. You're watching Chatterbox Sports. Be back tomorrow for the conclusion of this 3-game series. Matt Livingston, toes in the batter's box. Lefty on lefty. Livingston, 2 for 4 day. Struck out looking last time around. And he's swinging there. 1-1. So tomorrow will be the conclusion of this 3-game series. You can watch it right here. Wednesday, the girls get in action as they'll have their home opener here, and you can watch that as well on Chatterbox. That's slated for 5 p.m. against the Butler Bulldogs. Three and 2 the count. Called strike 3. And Carson Byers puts down the first batter here in the top half of the 9th. Dan Barbero.
The designated hitter, Danny Barbero.
A hit in each of his last 2 trips to the plate. Takes the first pitch he sees. Byers has recorded 4 outs, all of them strikeouts. Misses there, bringing it to 2-0. Swung on and missed. Barbero, the designated hitter in this game. Started in the field in game 1. Haven't seen a run since the top half of the 5th inning when Siena extended their lead to 5-1. Here comes the 3-2 offering. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Carson Byers has now recorded 5 strikeouts and every single out he's recorded.
The left fielder, Gavin Thornburg.
Gavin Thorburn, 0 for 4 day, or at least game 2. And he takes the first pitch for a called strike. One. Siena. Thorburn takes one on the inside half. Disagrees with that call. Now he's facing 2-2. Carson Byers delivers. Goes through the glove of Harrison. Carson Byers, 5 outs, 5 Ks, but has worked a full count. And almost every one of those strikeouts. Doing it again here. And he got another one. Struck out the side, trying to give a little juice to the Redhawks as they go up to the plate for the final time. They need 4 runs to extend the game, 5 runs to win it. Stay tuned. The Redhawks have 3 outs to give them. Need to come back down 5-1. 8-9-1 due up for Miami. Tommy Harrison. It looks like we'll see Christian Tejada batting for Nate Stone. And back to the top half of the order.
Leading off the bottom of the ninth for the Redhawks, number 25, the catcher, Tommy Harrison.
So Harrison, 1 for 2 on the day. Struck out his last time. Had that double back in the 5th inning. And walked in his first plate appearance. Eddie Gertler. Back on the mound trying to close this thing out. Fouls back. The 1-1 offering to Harrison. Takes it for a called strike. Breaking ball froze him. The 1-2. Froze him for called strike 3, and Harrison goes down looking. 1 away here in the 9th for the Redhawks. And we're going to see Christian Tejada hitting for Nate Stone. Tejada started in game 1. Coming off the bench here in game 2.
Pitch hitting for the Redhawks, number 7, Christian Tejada.
First pitch, Tejada sees, bounces over to Livingston. Tough play for the first baseman and the pitcher. Gertler gets over there for out number 2. A 3-1 put out. Has Miami's backs against the wall. So Evan Applewick in charge of jump-starting a 2-out rally for Miami. Takes the first pitch from Gertler and the turf. The 1-0 in there for a called strike, so bounces back. A 1-1. Gertler gets the sign from Louis Percival. A 2-1 offering. Bounced out to the shortstop. Hine throws it over Livingston. A 5-1 win and a doubleheader sweep for the Siena Saints. The two teams will be back in action tomorrow at 1 p.m. Ryan Bates with the win. Tyler Chadwick with the loss. The bats never got going for Miami here in game 2. So come back in and check out tomorrow's action at 1 p.m. here on Chatterbox Sports.